Hi, so I'm standing here with Dr. David Stewart, who has his PhD in, what was it, physics and math, right?
And also natural medicine.
And also in natural medicine, which is amazing. And he wrote a book, or published a book called The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. Do you mind holding that up, Dr. Stewart,
Sure.
for people to see there? This is an excellent, excellent book. Can you tell people where they could get it from? Is it Life Science Publishers or Amazon?
Life Science Publishing, Amazon.
Amazon.com, any of those. This is a must-have book. Dr. Stewart has been an authority on essential oils for quite a long time, obviously very research-based. So Dr. Stewart, I had a question for you. I've had many team members ask me, based on what they've been reading across the internet from certain groups, or certain organizations, I should say, who do aromatherapy, who claim that the ingestion of essential oils could be harmful to their health over time, either acutely or over time, and more specifically how it relates to their livers and or kidneys. Could you have any comments on that?
Well, this is based upon, this is the British School of Aromatherapy, and they base their ideas on animal research. None of their ideas are based on research on humans. And the research on animals is generally not the normal use of essential oils. They're toxicity studies where they try to see how much of a substance does it take to kill the animals.
Oh, wow.
And so they're trying to find a lethal dose. Well, everything has a lethal dose. Even water has a lethal dose. And there have been cases where people have drunk too much water too fast and it's been toxic. So you can't take animal studies like that and compare them to the practice of aromatherapy, where we just use a few drops of water at a time. The oil does not accumulate in your liver. It cannot. It's completely metabolized if it's a pure therapeutic grade oil. Now, if it's an adulterated oil, then there might be problems. But and the British are not very good on picking therapeutic grade oils. A lot of their oils are adulterated, they're not even natural. And so their conclusions are based upon a different kind of oil than we use. They're not talking about young living oils. Besides doing animal studies that they like to quote, they also like to do studies on specific compounds in an oil instead of the whole oil. And you can't do that. You can't do research on baking soda and conclude how a cake is going to be. There are toxic ingredients in lots of the things that we eat by themselves, but in combination when you have the finished product, they're not. And there are toxic compounds in essential oils, but in the oil they're not toxic. For example, myrrh, which is probably one of the safest oils in the world and has been used for thousands of years, has a compound called xylene in it. Xylene is a very poisonous substance, but in the myrrh, it's not. And compounds behave differently in the company of other compounds. So just like people, you don't have the same behavior towards your children as you do towards your spouse or the people you go to church with. You know, we have a different personality for each circumstance. Oils are like that, and oils which might be harsh and toxic in a certain environment can be therapeutic and gentle in another. And that's another fallacy of these people that are talking about these dangers of the oil. They'll take one compound out of context, and if it's hazardous, then they condemn the whole oil. And that just isn't a valid thing to do. And another thing they do in their studies, which they love to quote studies, they never tell you the grade of oil that they're using. They're almost all perfume grade oil studies. They're not therapeutic grade oil studies. So they have research that's probably decent research, but it's inappropriately applied, and they draw inappropriate conclusions.
Wow, that was great. I really appreciate you taking the time to even speak to us. Obviously, very fact-based. How long have you been practicing essential oils?
15 years.
15 years. And you are the head of the C.A.R.E Institute, right? And
Yeah.
raindroptraining.com?
Yeah.
Is that where people could find more information about you and what you do?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, Dr.
You're
Stewart. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank
That's why
you.
I like to do it.
Thank
Great.
you.